live. Shout out to my 0 viewers. I love you all. Alright,
Netflix sucks.
we're gonna play some more Brighter Shores. Fucking deal with it.
That fight sucked so bad that it has made me re-log into my YouTube account after 2.5 months. I forgot the password, man. I had to reset
Thank God. I need more React content. This is perfect.
that shit just to vent about how much I do not like Netflix after what I just witnessed. If you don't know what I'm talking about, somehow, I'm talking about the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. A fight that has been advertised for, I feel like, over a year now.
Yeah, it's been like 6 months or a year.
Now. It's been delayed several times, but it's very popular because it's, I guess, the peak of modern day boxing. All right, back in the day, you would have two of the best in the world, and people would talk in funny voices, and they'd be like, "In one corner, we have Evander Holyfield," and they'd fight. All right, heavyweight fight. Everyone listen on the radio or some shit. Nowadays, you have very, very famous social media stars who are maybe pretty good at boxing, but you can't really tell because they don't go up against really good boxers.
Well, they're probably good at boxing on like an amateur level, and they're probably like top tier amateurs, but playing against professionals is totally different.
Washed up famous boxers. Okay, it happened Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. And now it is happening again. Jake Paul, I think age 27, who just went up against Mike Tyson, age 58. Which is illegal, by the way. As someone who tried to set up a boxing event, there's a 10-year age difference maximum for almost every single state, except for the great state of Texas, which allowed this fight and sanctioned this fight to happen. And
so you can beat the fuck out of old people if you're in Texas. That's crazy. I had no idea. Wow.
Tell you right now, it shouldn't have happened. Now, all the experts would have told you going into this fight, this is going to be a Jake win. Perhaps a Jake knockout, because the 10 fights he's won have all been by like KO or knockout by time or something like that. And I wasn't interested, right? Until this clip. All right, I was browsing YouTube Shorts, and I see Mike Tyson doing an interview with a child. And the child asks,
for the first time, what type of legacy would you like to leave behind when it's all said and done?
Pretty normal question. I get it. You're asking a living legend. He responds,
Well, I don't know. I don't believe in the word legacy. I just think that's another word for ego. That's just some word everybody grabbed onto. Now it's used every 5 seconds. It means absolutely nothing to me. I'm just passing through. I'm going to die, and it's going to be over.
Jeez. Poor Mike.
Yeah, there you go, little Timmy. That's it, yeah. Holy shit. It's like a 9-year-old, yeah.
wow. So, Mike Tyson's different, man. He's a stone cold killer. All right, this is not like Floyd Mayweather or Dylan Dennis or Logan Paul. It's not someone who can be bought out by money. I did not believe in my mind Mike Tyson was signing up to do this just for money. I feel like he wanted to prove something, It's like a retired cop back for one last job. So, yeah, fool me.
AKA the plot of every single Jason Statham movie for the last 15 years. I know that because I've seen over half of them.
Once. Shame on you.
They're real
when
good.
I watched the Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, God.
Fool me twice. I made a video a year ago after I felt like I got scammed watching the Logan Paul Dylan Dennis fight.
Yeah.
Shame on me. Fool me 3 times, never get fooled again. Because then, man, all right, after that video aired, they had the weigh-in, and Mike Tyson walks up wearing nothing but a damn Speedo.
Yep.
And then slaps the shit out of Jake Paul.
Yep.
Now, what I did not realize is that would be one of the first and last times Mike Tyson would ever hit Jake Paul.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's kind of true, isn't it? Oh, man.
To get to the fight, let's talk about the live streaming experience, okay? Because I believe Netflix got hit with a reality check. This was the live streaming experience.
See, guys, all those people saying streaming is easier than a 9 to 5. See, it's not so easy, huh? How about that? Yeah, look at that. This is hard work, what we're doing here.
For 95% of people. So many people tried to watch this fight. Netflix clearly wasn't able to handle the server load. And so the streams would buffer, they would
Stupid.
crash. Several times, just me personally watching, I had to close out, reopen. Meanwhile, people were streaming from the venue perfectly on Twitter.
Of
They would
course.
just stream on their phone. That would work great. But the issue is Netflix, not so good at live streaming. All right, they found out it's a little bit harder than 9 to 5. The crazy thing is they should have known this. This happened
Oh my
last
God,
year
fucking
because they
stupid.
tried doing a live streaming
fucking
event for
stupid.
Love is Blind, the reunion. Okay, and let me tell you, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul was very big. Okay,
Yeah,
But
a lot bigger than some reality TV show reunion where everybody's
dealing with
old now.
tangible
Like, I
problems.
hate watching reunion shows because it just reminds me that everybody's older. And it's like, oh my God, like everybody's fat and old. Like, oh no. Yeah, it stresses me out. Like, I remember one time they were doing like this, you remember like Warped Tour? Remember that? Where it was like, Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance, I don't know, like Evanescence, all the edgy boy bands, right? And so they posted a new one, and this was like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and it was like some tour that they're doing, and then everybody in the comments was like, had like fucking gray hair, or like they're like 30. And it was like, oh God, I can't wait to see them again. It's like, oh no, like I don't want to see this. Oh no. Why you fucking say this shit? Yeah, when we were young. Yeah, it's like, whoa, bro, come on, stop it. It stressed me out. 30 and gray is total bullshit? No, I feel like a lot of people have gray hair before 30. I feel like it's extremely common.
the Love is Blind
Yeah.
reunion, we're talking like, one of the top 5 reality show moments. That's what that's a great show. Okay. People are going to want to tune into that shit. It was horrible.
What a
It
surprise.
crashed constantly. It did not start on time. It was delayed. Everyone who watched it said it was an absolute shit show.
Yeah, of course.
So they're not very good at live streaming.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know why they've pivoted their business model this route. They did it with the Tom Brady, the Love is Blind, now the Mike Tyson fight. They said they bought the rights to Christmas Day football. So now, unfortunately, if you're an NFL,
Oh, Jesus. Bro, if you're an NFL fan, how much does it cost to follow the league? How much money? Because isn't it like 3 different places you have to go? It's free mostly. Red Zone, you think so? Yeah, I've heard it's a lot more, $80 a month actually. It's, oh man, like it's free on the 7 Seas. Is that right? Yeah, I've seen like, I think football's doing this. Basketball, I don't think is as bad. But if football doesn't and they get away with it, guess what's going to happen, I think, with basketball?
fan like me and you're going to watch
That's nuts,
football
man.
on Christmas Day, you're going to be watching it through a lot of fucking buffering because
Yeah, that's the thing is like, I feel like watching football and watching sports on like holidays, especially Christmas, like I can't remember a Christmas that I didn't watch football on. I'm not even a big football fan, but it's just, that's what you do. You just watch football on Christmas because that's just the way it is. Tradition,
suck at
yeah.
it. And here's a funny thing: the one time where it didn't buffer,
Let me just unbuffer.
No,
for one
no,
quick second. We've
no,
been buffered out
no,
straight. Let me
no,
unbuffer for
no,
one quick
oh.
second. Mike's ass. Go back to buffer.
that's about the only good
Wow.
moment in the entirety of the fight. Because if you watch the fight, you know how it went. It was 8 rounds, and the rounds were 2 minutes. Usually it's 3 minutes, but I think Mike Tyson got a clause carved out, the 58-year-old man clause, and it started out decent.
Yeah, sure.
First round, Mike was throwing punches. You're like, okay, maybe we have a fight on our hands. Okay.
Right.
Second round was a little more Jake favored, but Mike's still throwing punches. After that, I'm not shitting you, it was over. Mike Tyson was walking around, I swear to God, like Joe Biden after a press conference. He looked back.
Jesus. That's real bad. This is who Jake Paul beat. That's crazy. Man, that is crazy. And he still didn't knock him out. Yep.
He had a brace on his knee. He was slow as hell.
Uh-huh.
And it was basically a game of will Jake Paul knock this old man out,
Yeah.
not a fight between 2 men. He did not throw a punch, Mike Tyson that is, for multiple rounds in a row. Just didn't even do it. It was so bad that at the very end of the fight, Jake Paul, instead of fighting to the bitter end, started bowing. Because we all knew it was over. And of course, who wins by unanimous decision?
Jake Paul.
Jake fucking Paul, dude.
Jake
'Cause
Paul.
Everybody knew Jake Paul was gonna win. And here's the reason why. And this could be as a copium user, I think that if they let Mike Tyson off the fucking leash for the first 2 rounds and he actually tried to knock Jake Paul out, I think it would have happened. I do.
Maybe.
But this is a show match. It's a show match. Got paid off. And either it's a cope. Maybe you're right. Hey, maybe you're right.
shouldn't have a 27-year-old man fight a 58-year-old man. Okay? I don't know what Netflix is doing, man. I don't know. They're spending so many billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Well, what do you mean you don't know what they're doing? Dude, everybody's talking about this. Everybody's talking. Everybody has an opinion on this fucking fight. Netflix made a great business decision, and they made a really bad moral decision. That's what happened. Let's be real. Everybody's talking about this event.
And it's an absolute shit show. It's an absolute shit show what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't think their business model makes any damn sense. You know how much Netflix costs right now? It's $6.99 if you want to watch it with ads. It's like $12.99 if you want to watch it without ads. And then it's like $22.99 if you want to watch it in 4K without ads. The prices are going astronomical. And then the content on there, I feel like... Hey, look...
I'm going to be real. $12.99 a month for no ads? I think it's fine. I do. I don't think it's that crazy. It's not that bad. Yeah, it's... Yeah, it's just not a big deal. Like, I think that each subscription is not a problem. All the subscriptions put together are. That's the issue.
It's a lot of bark and no bite. And you can only get away with that so many times. So in this video, I'll end it by showing the end of the fight, which was Mike Tyson being asked if he was going to fight again. And to the interviewer, he said, I'd maybe fight again. I don't know. Jake Paul seems like he'd be fun to fight.
Logan, I think he said you might.
Or excuse me, Logan Paul. Logan Paul says he seems like he'd be fun to fight. And then this is what happens.
Be next. Motherfucker, I'll kill you, Mike. Oh, please, no.
He said, motherfucker, I'll kill you, which, you know, to...
He is such a great villain. I love the Paul brothers as anime characters. When I stop thinking about them as people, they become infinitely more entertaining. Like, it's like Dio Brando. Dio is so cool. He's the worst. Everything that could possibly be bad about a person, Dio is all of those things. And it's like, it's great because it's a TV show. So if you stop taking this seriously and you just look at it from that perspective, it becomes so fucking funny.
Be fair, Mike, he called me a
yes.
blockhead beta bitch, so we're both in the same camp. Me and Mike Tyson, we're both the same, him and I. And my takeaway, I will not be fooled again. All right? I will no longer be tricked into watching a Paul fight.
You will. Everybody, stop it. You will be there. We will all be there. And you will make another video and you'll say, I told you guys I wasn't going to do it, but I relapsed and I did. It's the content. You are not going to miss out on another fucking Paul Brothers fight. It's such good content.
I will no longer be tricked into watching a Paul fight. Anyway, that is it. I'm going to keep this video under 8 minutes. There's no mid-roll ads. Maybe I'll post more mogul mails. I've heard there's some shit going over on Twitch. We'll see. All right, see you later. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
I heard about that.
Goodbye. Fuck you, Netflix. All right, goodbye.
Yeah. I thank God he's making more of these. I was running out of content. Yeah, these were great. And yeah, I used to always post drama videos like every 2 or 3 days. I feel like after the whole Mr. Beast thing, you know, like Ludwig was like, I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. And now he's finally doing it again. Great. Shameless? Hey, there it is. Hopefully it happens. I'll link you guys the video. Give it a like so he does another one, okay? Yeah, there you go. Oh my fucking god. Resubscribe? Yeah, I don't know how I got unsubscribed from him, man. That's so weird, 'cause I feel like I have. The issue isn't individually, but when you have Netflix, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Twitch Turbo, Twitter Premium, at some point it becomes too much. What do you mean? You're not talking about Hulu. You're not talking about Disney Plus. Oh, you did talk about. You're not talking about HBO Go. You're not talking about YouTube Premium. Like, what about that? Yeah, come on. And what about OnlyFans, right? There's so many more of them. Brazzers, yeah, Crunchyroll. Think about that. Peacock. Yes, there's so many of these fucking websites. It's insane. No, like, Ludwig was right about all of this. Completely right about the
This
whole
route,
thing.
they did it with
like, it's so ridiculous that they did this. It is dumb. It's sad. Like, Mike Tyson is, in my opinion, a fucking legend. I feel like it's not even an opinion, it's a fact.
Fox News is projecting former President Donald Trump as one.
Are they getting rid of them? What the hell is this? Because, like, the Dollar Trees, shit there is still $1. You can buy, like a toenail clippings there for $1 for each one.
There are over 36,000 dollar stores across the U.S.
Jesus.
That's more than one
Jesus.
store for every 10,000 people. These companies have long been Wall Street darlings.
During the Great Recession in 2009, 2010, both Dollar General and Dollar Tree were two of the best performing stocks in the S&P 500 in those 2 years.
Yeah,
The share price for Dollar Tree and Dollar General, the two biggest
That's
players
really
in the
good.
space,
Holy shit.
far outpaced the S&P 500.
God damn.
Jumping over 1,500% between 2008 and 2022.
Wow.
But over the past 2 years, the stocks of both companies have plummeted. And the outlook, at least in the near term, isn't showing promising signs of recovery.
They ruin
We had
communities.
this pretty good growth over a period of decades, but in the last decade, we've added about 50% more stores, and that's brought a number of challenges.
Dollar General and Dollar Tree have both cut guidance recently, which set off alarm bells for investors.
So what's happened to dollar stores? And what do these companies need to do to get back on track?
Yo, I tell you what the fuck happened is that I go to the dollar store and it's not $1. Straight up. Like, that might sound stupid, but like, if I go to the dollar store and something's $7, it's like back in the day, you go to Dollar Tree, you try to find something that's more than $1. Now you go to Dollar Tree, you try to find something that is $1. It's crazy. What they need to do is they need to pull a page out of the Wendy's the Wendy's cookbook. Go ahead and rename the Dollar General to Value General. And that way you can charge $3.29 for small fries again. What a fucking joke. Yeah. I blame Biden.
Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and Family Dollar are the three largest brands in the space. Dollar Tree owns both Family Dollar and its namesake brand. In fiscal 2023, the two companies brought in nearly $70 billion in combined revenue.
That's
All
a
three
lot.
brands have thousands of stores across the country, but target very different areas and demographics. Dollar Tree sells a lot of
Yeah, I went to this
seasonal
one.
and discretionary items. Think wrapping paper and toys, typically in suburban strip malls. The Family Dollar chain, which the company acquired in 2015 for $9 billion, is generally found in more urban areas. Meanwhile, Dollar General focuses on a primarily rural customer base.
The roots of Dollar
God damn. Bro, imagine living here. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, that's a lot of dots, yeah. There's one on every corner. That's insane.
stores were in rural America, outer suburbs of metro markets. It was sort of the places where there wasn't sort of a big established value retail presence.
A key thing to understand about dollar stores is that their main goal is to be an affordable place to shop with whatever set budget you have, not necessarily the best value for your money. For example, this box of 15 dryer sheets is $1.25. It's a better quote-unquote deal to go up the road to Target and get a box of 240 of them for $10. But if
remember what I said earlier? It's actually crazy. This is exactly what I fucking said. Fucking exactly. That's 100% what it is. People can't buy in bulk if they're broke.
$10 is your entire budget for the trip to the store, it makes more sense to go to the dollar store.
I'm just saying that's the way
On
it
the
is.
outside, these types of stores may not look so bad. From 2019 to 2023, sales have increased by about 30% for Dollar Tree and about 40% for Dollar General.
That's real good.
In the same time period, these companies have added over 5,000 stores. New stores will naturally increase revenues, but that can mask slow sales growth at existing locations.
Well, you can't just keep building more stores. Like, eventually you're going to hit saturation point. It's not like I remember I learned this in WoW, and I was like, how can I'm not going to sell all these in 24 hours on the auction house. Like, what am I doing? Yeah, there's too many of them.
Companies can say, you know, well, we're still growing revenues nicely. Both companies are saying they're taking market share. And these are all true statements, but when you really drill down to where you're taking share, like at a per store basis, and that's where you would suggest that perhaps they aren't, that they're losing some share.
Yeah.
High inflationary times disproportionately affect lower income consumers. Dollar General's core customer base, which is households earning less than $35,000 per year, contribute to about 60% of its overall sales.
We're in a strange time where the jobs market is still relatively strong, and that means middle and upper income households don't feel that same level of pressure to turn to a different store or to shop dramatically different than their everyday habits. At the same time, the core customer, those lower income customers that rely on dollar stores, are getting even more selective and are tending to buy needs versus wants. Things like food that just tend to be lower margin.
Lower margin?
Yeah, people can't afford to buy little bits of bullshit anymore. It's actually crazy how bad it is for the working class. Like, that's one of the things to me that's like so shocking, that so many people that are like in the working and lower class don't ever realize how bad it is and try to vote in their own best interest. Being poor is expensive, bro. It's actually like and here's the thing, is like, now that I have money, there's like all of these things that I get for free. Like, there's tons of like advantages and opportunities and little incentives that you have if you have money. And you guys know this, right? Like, any of you guys make over like 100K a year. Like, you know that like there's some PCs, you know, get a free PC, and you get free stuff, exactly. And so like you see where that comes in, and it's not just like, oh, it's because you're a streamer. Like, if you're making a good amount of money, there are a lot of things that you just simply do not have to worry about. A rich person has more disposable income to invest into as well. Well, yeah, exactly. And so because that money is being invested and it's keeping up with the inflation in a better way, their wages are not. So it's like the more money that you're spending out of your wage on direct prices and direct things, that's kind of like, it kind of falls into the same category of understanding why a sales tax is actually a tax more on the poor. It's a progressive tax on the poor, which is a whole different conversation. But if you've been broke and you haven't been able to like afford stuff, you'd know that things like, you know what it's like? If you're broke, when you're trying to run, it's like you're playing clock. You have to move every knee and every shin and every finger and every foot and make sure you don't move too far or too up. Same analogy. Have I used this one before? I don't even know if I have. But like, yeah. So you're playing co-op. Is it? Is it? That's it. Yes. And so every single thing, it's like playing a survival game. Everything matters. Like, you have your, instead of your hunger gauge, you've got your, well, you have your hunger gauge, and then instead of your water gauge, it's your gas gauge. Like, how many of you guys have experienced anxiety with basically having to drive somewhere that's far away and the financial strain that will put on your money because of gas? Yeah, you're playing solo self-found. It's nuts. Yeah, every day? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, will my car make it? That's another really big factor too. It's like being able, and that's another thing, is that there's a lot of like health anxiety things that like people that are poor have, that like people that are even middle class or well off don't even know exist, right? So like, for example, if your car fucking like the absolute fucking stress when your car stops working and you're broke. Now what? Fucking now what? Dude, it's intense. That's so bad. Like, I remember I was at like some grocery store, and I remember my car stopped working there, and I was so stressed out, I walked all the way home. I didn't even ask anybody to pick me up. I just walked all the way home with my groceries. It was fucking bad, man. Car doesn't start immediately, heart attack? Yeah. How many of you guys like have had the like your car do something weird and then panic attack? Fuck, right? Absolutely. Is shit stressful? Yeah. Really bad.
Means they are less profitable, but food and household items have become increasingly important to the dollar store customer.
Yeah.
In its 2024 second quarter earnings call, Dollar General said it's decreased its non-consumable inventory by 13% versus last year. The effect of inflation is also apparent at Dollar Tree stores whose long differentiated strategy was a
actually
store-wide $1
Yeah.
price point.
Yep.
In 2021, that changed.
Even if
It's no longer Dollar Tree, it's Value Tree.
you just take a step back and you think about
Value Tree, that's
sort of
great.
the magic around a retail box where everything is $1.
Yeah.
And if you have 8 items in your basket, it's going to cost
$8.
you $8. And now you move to $1.25. It reduces some of that magic overall, and
It does.
sounds silly, but
It does, because it's not $1. It's called Dollar General. It's $1.25. It's not $1.25 General. It's not $1.25 Tree. It's Dollar Tree. False fucking advertising.
It confuses the shopping experience, makes it a little more complex.
Real bad.
Some of the dollar store's lackluster financial results can be pointed to the conditions of its physical stores.
It's just a less desirable place.
These places are shitholes. Like, I'm telling you, I've been to the Dollar Tree. I've never been to a single Dollar Tree that wasn't a shithole. Like, every single one of them are. But, like, that's fine. Like, you go to the Dollar Tree, you're going into a shithole. That's just the way it is. They're ghetto, all of them. Absolutely they are. Yes. There are boxes everywhere, everything like that. Like, you got, like, they've got, like, soda in the back that, like, when did this, 2021? The fuck? So much
I mean, the whole idea is dollar stores are convenient, but if you go there, there's only one cash register open, and there's 8 people in line, and it takes 10, 15 minutes.
Y'all ever seen the videos of the people getting in fights with Dollar Tree lines? Oh my god.
You're losing the convenience angle.
Yeah.
Or sometimes there's boxes in the aisles you can't even get down to. It's blocked.
So my stock room is literally overflowed and look like this.
So Terry, does your Dollar General look like this?
Yes. Absolutely. Yep.
Customers notice
Mine
when
does.
a company is not minding the store. They see that there are boxes that are cluttering aisles. They notice that the item they want is out of stock. And so they may decide to go elsewhere. And Dollar Tree and Dollar General have been
I'm gonna be real. If you're broke, you're not gonna go and be like, "There's boxes everywhere." I'm not gonna Target instead.
Damn.
I don't see anybody doing that. Like, maybe I'm sure like somebody does that. Somebody's done that. But like as like a user behavior, customer behavior, I don't see that.
having execution problems that have contributed to a tougher economic backdrop.
Inventory challenges were especially apparent during the pandemic. The smaller sized, more affordable products normally found at dollar stores were deprioritized by manufacturers.
Customers that were then going into the stores, even if they found a store that was operationally okay, the assortment was now very different and didn't have some of the items that were the reason that they went to the discount channel in the first place.
Understaffing?
Yeah, those items, like those items are effectively like loss leader items. Those are the ones that get people in the store. Those are the ones like, yeah, I want to go there for detergent because I can't afford to pay like $11 or $12 for Tide.
Also became more apparent. The dollar store playbook has historically operated on a lean labor model. That has long created problems for both companies.
What they mean to say by lean labor model is that there's only one checkout line available, and it's the person who started working there last week.
But during the pandemic,
and
those
self-checkout
issues
is
were
closed.
exacerbated.
When COVID hit and the government was paying out subsidies, and that the situation where lots of employees just opted out, didn't go to work, they didn't eat. And so then you got into this situation where, the stores started to fall over.
Dollar General and Dollar Tree have also faced
49 people have been killed at Dollar General stores since 2014. That doesn't really tell me a lot. How many people have been killed at KFC? Probably more than that. What about McDonald's? That's not that many people. Like, we're acting like this is a big deal. It's 50 people. That's like what, 2 people a year? It's 5 people a year.
numerous worker safety violations in their stores over the past decade. In the beginning of 2024, Family Dollar was fined...
Oh, nah, bro. Employees have been stabbed, fatally shot.
That's right. Another mogul mail. I'm going back to back. And I gotta say, guys, what the heck? I looked at my analytics on this channel after taking a 10-week hiatus, and thousands of you guys unsubscribed. Okay, joke's over. We can resubscribe now. I might take a little bit longer in between videos, but when I really want to talk about something, I'm going to make a damn video. Like today, where we're talking about the Twitch adpocalypse. Why? Because I was talking to my friend Shake about it last night, and I wanted to look up a video to learn more about it, and there was none. So I decided, okay, I will make one. And today, I should preface, we are going to basically be talking about 3 points around the Twitch adpocalypse. What is it? How did it happen? And what should happen next to fix it? That's really what I want to address today. And we should start with first, ads on Twitch. Because I'm old enough on Twitch that back in my day, Unk status, I get it, it was cringe to run ads. People didn't do it. And it made sense, you know, people would already be paying your subscribers for your content. So why would you also be taxing people by making them watch ads? It was something you just didn't really do until Twitch made a bit of a change. They started to tell you how much money you would make if you were to run ads. And they also ran a program that subsidized that amount of money. So they basically say like, okay, well, this is how many viewers you have. If you were to run like 3, 6, 9 minutes of ads an hour, we could pay you like a couple $1,000s. And, you know, not only could we will guarantee pay you that amount of money, and you just do the deliverables and, you know, it all sort itself out. They're basically subsidizing people running ads. Now, they only ran this program for like a few months, but it worked. It created a culture where streamers now knew how much they would make if they ran ads, and it became a part of their lifestyle and overall income. And so now people run ads. And you should know this if you've ever tried to watch a subathon in the past couple of years, because those are basically ad farms, man. Live 732 hours in a month. That's 732 hours to run ads, baby. And thankful to the boys at FaZe for leaking their income. We know how much money you can make from ads alone. Now, I'm not sure, it's possible that Ron might have photoshopped this image a bit, little inspect element. But if we take it at face value, he says he earned $1.2 million during his subathon, and he only had 63,000 subscribers. Now, I say only because if you do the math, that 63,000 subscribers is $220,000, which means he made an extra $1 million. That's not from bits. That would mostly be from ads. And what makes this even more realistic and more impressive in my mind, Jason was the biggest in the FaZe group for their subathon. In terms of subs, he had the most subscribers. You can see 100,000 right here. And he made $500,000 total. It's a lot of money. Now, the light pink is the amount of money he made from ads. And you can see his ad density went down, all right? He didn't make as much from ads. As opposed to somebody like Lacey, that's a lot of light pink. Now, ignore this number. I know as a fact he inspect elemented this. This is a fake number. This number is real. So he made $70,000 less than Jason while having less than half as many subs, less average viewers. How? Because his ad density was so high. He's running an ad density equivalent to TV shows, okay? And he is able to make just from that hundreds of thousands of dollars in ads. I would not be surprised if Kai made as much, if not more money from his subathon in advertising than he did from all of the hundreds of thousands of subs he has. This is all kind of gone now. The advertisers are pulling out. It is true. And streamers are making a lot less money this month. Okay, how do we know this? Well, Twitch streamers are talking about it. Here is Quinn.
What the hell? So you're getting, wait. Oh, bro, you just getting no ad money at all.
All right, here's Moon Moon also talking about it.
I saw, like,
trying to get a wide array of
ads,
streamers.
Apocalypse, blah, 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 blah. Out of curiosity, I went and checked my revenue. In the last 2 days I've streamed, I received $0 on ads.
And then finally, here's Stock Guy actually showing his analytics. You can see how much money he is making from ads and how far it has dropped. For some people, it's half. For some people, they're making 10, 20% of what they used to make. And the way ads worked on Twitch for a long time was a very simple calculation. What is your viewership? Okay. What is your ad density? How many ads are you running an hour? And where are your viewers from? Because advertisers view viewers differently depending on their location. That is it. That is the only factors that went in. And then however much money Twitch made from advertising, they would pay you out like a percentage portion, all right? You know, something like 30, 40, 50, some percent based off your deal of how much money they made from the advertisers. The issue is that only works if they have advertisers. And a lot of advertisers have pulled out, okay? They have pulled out and it has hit Twitch hard. All right, and I'll talk in a minute what my prediction is for what will happen to that advertising money. But first, we have to talk about why they pulled out. Where did the advertisers go? Do they hate Twitch all of a sudden? Well, the genesis of this, as far as I can tell, is when Asmon got banned off of Twitch. Because you see, Asmon got banned after making some comments about Palestinian people. Some very negative comments about Palestinian people. That he got banned off of Twitch. And this sort of caused a domino effect where people are like, okay, you ban Asmon for saying this thing about Palestinian people. But, you know, what about this person saying this thing about this people? And that happened a lot because this is an issue Twitch has been dealing with for years, which is inconsistency in their bans. All right, they have their code of conduct, their terms of service, whatever. They have to ban based off of that. And sometimes it's not upheld consistently. All right, and so this became, you can see October 16th is the day Asmon got banned, a very common trend. All right. Oh, you ban Asmon. Well, what about when Frogan said this, you know, crazy thing about U.S. soldiers? All right. And Twitch got basically controversy after controversy after controversy. All right. And at first, this was maybe just some like social media stuff. But then there was a concerted effort by people to go straight to the advertisers. All right. Because Twitch wasn't buckling. They weren't like banning other people for their comments based off the social media blow up. They were just kind of holding fast. They banned Asmon. They're like, okay, we're good now. Please leave us alone. That did not work. They were not left alone. Not only were they not left alone, their advertisers were not left alone. And this is one of the other genesis I can see of advertisers now getting involved after the Asmon ban. And here's a tweet that said, made a video of what you can do. It's a long video, so I'll just distill it. But basically, it was email the advertisers that Twitch worked with who were displayed prominently in sections that people viewed as like anti-Semitic and get them involved. Okay? He says, you know, fuck Twitch for making me do this cancel culture, cuck fucks and blueser shit. But that is exactly what happened. It was a attempt at creating an adpocalypse. Very successful. Now, Twitch tried to curb this. They tried to appease advertisers and also the Anti-Defamation League, who's getting involved. And they banned several Arab streamers following a Habibi rating panel that was at TwitchCon. And you can see the sponsors are in the background of this. This was going viral. I promise you, all of these sponsors got thousands of emails in their inbox after this. And it worked. Now, you might think to yourself, okay, well, Ludwig, this was like a month ago, right? We're November 16th now. Asmon got banned October 16th. The banning of the people at the TwitchCon panel was October 21st. Well, how do you think ad deals work? It rolls over the next month. So the reason ad rates plummeted in November is because all those advertisers pulled out for the month of November. And there's no way in that 2-week period for Twitch to resell a bunch of ad slots to brand new advertisers, especially when brand new advertisers are going to see this blowing up on social media and not want to touch it with a 60-foot pole. You get me? All right. So there's currently in Twitch world a piss match, right? Hassan is blaming Asmongold for the adpocalypse for teaming up with people who he says, and Asmon is
looking at me and blaming me. I want to say you're welcome.
Taking blame himself and probably talking about DEI again for the 100th time, if I had to guess. Now, what is Twitch doing about it? Twitch has done two main things. The first one is they're trying to have the most perfectly crafted, curated conduct policy to be able to catch all things that could offend anyone and make advertisers as happy as possible. And this is a very hard thing to do in an ever-changing world. Their latest change has been making the term Zionist along with a mean term now prohibited. Now that gets you banned off the website. The other thing they have done is they are now using tags as a way to demonetize creators. So, there's this thing on Twitch that people usually use as jokes called tags. So, like, Kai's tags are short and loud. Asmon's tags are bald. Okay? But some of the tags are very legitimate and well used, like the language tags. And some are now enforced, like the politics tag. And if you have a tag like politics or something maybe like sexual themes, well, then you're not going to be making money off ads. And we know that because here's a clip of someone talking about that who has those sexual theme tags.
So this month I play like three hours ad and I get 0.08 USD money from it.
She played 3 hours of ads and she made 8 cents. Okay? 8 cents total. Now, what's going to happen next? The ad money is going to come back. Maybe not to where it was before, at least not for a while. But we know this because this has happened before. If you remember, YouTube had an adpocalypse in 2017. Now, a lot of people blame PewDiePie for it. I would argue that's a bit reductive. In the same way, it might be reductive to blame a single person for the adpocalypse on Twitch today. At that same time that PewDiePie had a video with a bunch of edgy jokes, there were also terrorist training videos found on YouTube that had advertisers on them. All right? But the thing is, it's not like if you go to YouTube, there isn't fucked up shit on there still. There's definitely still stuff that advertisers would not want to advertise on. I can look this shit up if I want. All right, you can look this up. If you look up nude yoga, there's some shit on there that advertisers do not want to be on. That is still available on YouTube. Because there should be a difference on what is available to watch on a platform and what advertisers want to be a part of on a platform. Not everything that's on a platform should just be stuff that advertisers want to see. We should not become Coco Melon TV on every single platform. In the same way that not everything on a platform should be only things advertisers don't want, like, well, let's be frank, kick. Okay, you don't want both of those realities. You need a mix. But to have a mix, you need a lever to be able to punish people accordingly. And what I mean by that is right now on Twitch, the biggest problem that I see is the only way they have to punish people, or the main way they've had to punish people, is a ban. And a ban is very strict. It is 100 to 0. Turn the water off. Okay? You cannot make any content at all anymore at all ever. All right? That's a little bit strict. On YouTube, they have a pretty good system. You've probably heard of it, right? Most videos, if everything's good to go, they are monetized. Okay, maybe that's what the green money sign is. Maybe you have the gray money sign. That means you didn't monetize it. Okay, you just didn't monetize that shit. Red means you can't monetize it. Now, this could be for copyright or because maybe what the content is about. That's what the red is. You can't monetize it. And then there's yellow, which is this video in YouTube. If you ever ask them, will always say this, is not being suppressed by the algorithm, but will not be shown to advertisers. Now, YouTubers will always tell you that if it has the yellow money sign, it is being suppressed. The views are worse. YouTube says the opposite, but fact remains, this does not make money. The advertisers will not go on this video. Now, there's another section, which is yellow with the 18+. So not only can they not be monetized, the channel must be 18+ to watch. Those do get suppressed, obviously. because it's just being shown to less people total. But this
Donald Trump then voted for Kamala Harris.
Yes.
Yeah, it was, and
Glass is inherently brittle. It is the very symbol we use for fragility. But these days, we expect so much from this material. We want it to be perfectly transparent, scratch-resistant, thin, and even flexible. But most of all, we want it not to break. So is it possible to make unbreakable glass? Well, in this video, I will make the case that glass is one of the most important materials humans have ever made. It has transformed how we live, launched numerous scientific revolutions, and forever altered how we think about our place in the universe.
Part of this video was sponsored by Saley.
In mid-2006, Steve Jobs had a problem. Apple was working on the first iPhone, set to be released in January 2007. But Jobs wasn't satisfied with the screen. The prototypes he was testing had plastic screens, which scratched easily. So Jobs wanted glass. But regular glass wouldn't work. It too would get scratched up, and it would also shatter. Plus, he wanted the phone to be slick, so the glass had to be really thin. So he called up the CEO of Corning, Wendell Weeks, to ask him to make the glass for Apple. And 6 months later, it was on the first iPhone. This was Gorilla Glass.
Gorilla Glass has been used in phones, computers, and wearable devices for the last 17 years. Now it's used on billions of devices, and over the years, it's become a lot more durable. So we sent Veritasium producer Peter to Corning's headquarters to see for ourselves how Gorilla Glass is made and how it works.
We'll need a volunteer.
Yeah, yes, that's neat.
All right, so this is what we call our key scratch demo. In here we have polycarbonate, which is basically a plastic, and then we have a Gorilla Glass. And what you can do is scratch this side first, the polycarbonate, see how it goes.
Yep, definitely scratches.
Yep.
Trying to scratch in our logo. It's not quite.
There you go.
Are we getting Veritasium?
Yes.
All right.
So now try the same thing on the other side. So this is Gorilla Glass.
Yeah, definitely does not scratch.
To break glass requires two things, a flaw and stress. To introduce the flaw, they sandblasted a spot in the middle of the glass to roughen up its surface. And Peter will apply the stress.
Take that tip and put it inside that circle and push down. See if you can break it apart. Not too hard, right?
No.
All right, so next we have strengthened soda lime. Strengthened as much as you can for soda lime. So
all right. Harder, for sure.
A little bit. Next we have Gorilla Glass.
I'm kind of terrified. Oh man. Right, I know like we don't actually want to do this, but I want to do this, so. Are you kidding me?
There's two responses. The first response is either, this is a really great demo, I completely understand what you're showing me. The second response is, I'm taking this personally. I need to try to break this glass.
Okay, it is a very good demo. I'm like genuinely really impressed at this point. I still want to break the glass. Right, last one. No, like I'm bending the stylus. Like, okay, amazing.
Glass has existed in nature for billions of years. It's formed by meteorite impacts, lightning strikes, and volcanic eruptions. But when humans came along, they found ways to use glass. Obsidian is volcanic glass. It forms when lava cools quickly. It's extremely brittle, so when you hit it with another rock, you can chip off sections of it to make a sharper and sharper edge. There's evidence of obsidian being used for cutting implements, arrowheads, and tips of spears as early as 1.2 million years ago. And it hasn't gone out of fashion. Today, some surgical scalpels have their tips sharpened to just 3 nanometers across. And the best material for this purpose is obsidian. Compared to the million-plus years we've been using glass, we only started making it very recently, around 5,600 years ago. Most common glass is composed mainly of oxygen and silicon, the two most abundant elements in Earth's crust. In nature, you find them in the form of quartz, crystalline silicon dioxide. Crystalline means that the atoms are arranged in a regular, repeating structure, and quartz is the primary constituent of sand. So if you take some sand, heat it up to about 1700 degrees Celsius until it melts, and then rapidly cool it, it forms glass. During the rapid cooling process, the atoms don't have enough time to return to their periodically arranged crystal structure. So instead, they are stuck where they are, like a liquid that's been flash frozen in place.
That is why glass is considered an amorphous solid. Amorphous just means disorganized, not in any regular arrangement.
But perhaps this is where the misconception about glass being a liquid comes from. It isn't a liquid. At room temperature, glass is solid because the atoms are fixed in place. They can't flow past each other like in a liquid. I even made a video about this 9 years ago. They are disordered, but they are solid. This amorphous structure is also what makes glass so brittle, because there's no way for the structure to relieve stress. When stress is applied to the glass, a small crack will form at a flaw on the surface. And as the glass cracks, the stress is applied to atoms with fewer neighbors, so the crack grows bigger, which eventually leads to the glass fracturing.
So next we'll move to what we call slapper demos. What we're using is sandpaper. This represents like an asphalt type surface. Sure. So if you were to get out of your car and you accidentally drop your phone in the parking lot, and what we're using is this fixture. It's bending it. Mm-hmm. So it's pre-stressing it. We have our rough surface to introduce the flaw. And on here we have an alternative glass, similar to some of the competitive stuff, different things on the market. And when you're ready, you can drop.
3, 2, 1. And some sounds. Okay.
Right? So bro, not what you want to see when you pick up your phone off the parking lot, right? No. Hard break. And then we have a Gorilla Glass and what we call the Mega Slap. Very exciting name, right? Now you can see me dramatically increase the height. And I do it from here? No, from the very top. From the very top.
Okay, so we're not just increasing the height, we're also starting from way up here.
Right.
All right, 3, 2, 1. No, we're good. That's pretty cool.
While the basic recipe for glass involves silicon dioxide, glass makers have been adding other ingredients to change its properties for thousands of years. Adding sodium carbonate, also known as soda, and calcium oxide, also known as lime, lowers the temperature at which it becomes liquid from 1700 degrees Celsius to around 1000 degrees Celsius. And that's why soda lime glass accounts for around 90% of all glass manufactured today. Another recipe includes adding boron trioxide to the mixture, forming a borosilicate glass. Glass is usually quite sensitive to changes in temperature. If you throw boiling water on your car's windshield, it'll likely shatter due to the glass rapidly expanding. But borosilicate glass has a really low coefficient of thermal expansion. It doesn't grow or shrink very much, even with drastic temperature changes. So it's often used for laboratory glass, like beakers.
Let's go!
You want to grab a pair of these green glasses too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't see anything.
And while this specific recipe for Gorilla Glass is secret, it is based on a combination of silicon, aluminum, magnesium, and sodium. And the recipe keeps changing. The scientists are constantly trying different formulations to find more durable and scratch-resistant glasses here.
This is so cool. Do you ever feel like a pizza chef? Right? What's like?
Good, good.
This facility is actually where that experimentation takes place. The earliest human-made glass was likely an accident. People had been working metal for thousands of years before they made glass. So it's thought that some sand made its way into metalworking furnaces, forming small glass beads. But soon, glassmaking became its own art form. to make decorations, ornaments, statues, tableware, and containers. Unlike clay, glass is impermeable to water, making it an ideal material for bowls and bottles. But then, glassmakers noticed that by adding other elements into the mix, they could change the color of the glass. By adding cobalt oxide, you would get a vivid blue. Adding cuprite makes red.
But all of the historical glasses we've been talking about have been opaque, which is not really what we think of as glass today. After glassmaking was invented, thousands of years passed before we invented transparent glass. That's because making it is actually pretty difficult.
The first step came around 100 AD, when glassmakers in Alexandria added manganese dioxide into the mixture, which led to a semi-opaque glass. It definitely wasn't transparent, but it did let some light through.
This is when glass began being used for windows. And glass windows were a huge deal. I mean, they provide a physical barrier that keeps the warm air in and the wind and critters out, while still allowing light to shine into your home.
But the first truly transparent glass was made many centuries later, around the Italian city of Venice. The art of glassmaking was thriving and bringing a lot of money into the city. There was just one problem. To make and manipulate glass, you need very hot furnaces. And at the time, Venice was a city built almost entirely out of wood. So yeah, glassmakers were bringing a lot of money into the city, but they also kept accidentally burning it down. So in 1291, the government of Venice had had enough, so they moved all the glassmakers to the island of Murano. The island became known as the Isle of Glass, celebrated for making the most beautiful and intricate glassware anywhere on Earth. This is also where the glassmaker Angelo Barovier invented clear glass. He took some seaweed rich in potassium oxide and manganese and burned it to create ash. Then he added this ash into his glass, and when it cooled, he found that the glass was transparent. Most materials are opaque because when photons hit them, the photons are absorbed. The photon excites an electron, pushing it up to a higher energy level. But this only happens when the photon's energy matches the energy of an allowed electron transition. And different materials have different energy levels. In transparent glass, the energy required to move an electron from a lower state to a higher state is higher than the amount of energy that a photon of visible light has. So the photon just passes right through. Now, while glass is transparent to visible light, it does interact with other parts of the electromagnetic spectrum. It absorbs much of the ultraviolet spectrum because UV photons have more energy, hence they can push the electron to the higher energy level and be absorbed. That makes it opaque to UV. This is also how colored glass is made. You add impurities into the glass, which affects the electron energy levels, which then changes the color of the glass.
If you look at a pane of glass side on, you might notice that it looks slightly green, which is because the most common glass used for windows, soda lime, has impurities of iron oxides, which give the glass a green tinge. The glass absorbs more of the other colors than it does green, so that's why we see it. I think the only way we'd truly appreciate how important transparent glass is would be if all of a sudden it disappeared. So your windows, glasses, screens, all gone. But there is another element in our daily lives that we take for granted, which is connectivity. I mean, we are always connected to the internet. And losing that connection, even for a few minutes, can be pretty uncomfortable, especially when you're traveling. Staying connected abroad requires either paying exorbitant roaming fees.
Yeah, we'll just have to start processing the cheese.
Beautiful cheddar.
Looks great. I think just turning it all into shreds makes the next part easier.
It's gonna take a while.
Faster.
I can't.
Dude.
This is how you're meant to do it. Oh yeah.
And then I said, leave my mom's name out of your mouth.
Okay, so that's it. Second one done. So we now have all of the beautiful shredded cheddar. And to turn it into the American cheese, we just have to mix it with these chemicals. And I'll start with the sodium citrate dihydrate. So first open it. Got some beautiful crystals.
Nice.
And for that we need 24 grams. Whatever, 25 is fine. Okay, so we got the sodium citrate. And now, gotta do the sodium hexametaphosphate. And for this, we need 1.2. But I don't think that's even possible on this scale. It's okay. 2. That's good enough. All right, got all the chemicals, and I think we're ready to get started. So the first step is to get just some regular water and to put it into this pot. And then into this, it's got to dump in all of the sodium citrate. And we'll also add all of the hexametaphosphate. Perfect. Everything is going perfectly so far. Just gotta mix this up. Gotta shred off some microplastics into the mix.
Amazing. I see nothing.
Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, okay, it's all dissolved. Should I taste some of it?
Yeah, for sure.
Just immediately say yeah. Okay. I got a decent amount. Did you see that?
Are you sure you want to try this?
I think it'll be fine. I'll see. That was way worse than I thought. It's like kind of salty, but like a sour, nasty, like, it's almost like, it almost tastes like sweaty.
Huh.
You want some?
No.
So turn this on. It doesn't have to get super hot. So it's getting up to like 50 right now. I think that's kind of okay to start with. I'm gonna add it bit by bit. Here we go. Time to process the cheese. Looks like it's doing something.
The water cheese combo just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it kind of just feels like, it feels a little bit like making a bowl of cereal with water.
Oh.
Okay. All the cheese has been successfully added. I think now we have to just mix it around. Make sure it doesn't burn. I don't think the heat is not on crazy right now.
Does kind of look like KD or some kind of noodles. Looking pretty good though.
Yeah, as it's sitting there, it's looking better and better. So I mean, what we have right now is just cheese mixed with water and chemicals. But this is supposed to eventually turn into a beautiful little square of American cheese. I have faith. I believe it'll work. We're getting there. We are getting there. It's thickening and gooing up. Oh yeah. Look at that.
There you go.
It kind of just looks good. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, at this point it just looks like a cheese sauce. And the idea, even now, I don't know why in my head, using chemicals to make this it does feel weird, and it makes it feel like this is kind of some sort of unnatural abomination, but the sodium citrate and the other chemical, they're totally safe to eat, and they're found in lots of other foods. And what we're doing here is we're basically just using them to combine the water with the cheese. And when it combines, you basically get the same cheddar, except it's just way more liquidy, and all of the cheddar fat and everything is suspended in a larger amount of water.
I guess like regular cheese and water don't mix when you melt them properly.
I just don't think they mix, or they might mix, but they'll separate. That's what I think. It just feels really unnatural to add white powders and chemicals to alter it, but at the same time, all you're doing in cooking is altering food, so.
I think it's getting to the point where it's ready though.
Yeah, I know. Okay. I'm ready to try what we've made so far. And I'm expecting amazing results. Oh, look at that.
Cheesy.
Gooey cheese. It's beautiful. It's good, but I feel like it's missing a little bit. I think we need to add, I wasn't planning to, but we need to add a couple more ingredients. First thing we need, butter. I think, you know, it'll make the flavor pop a little bit more. We need to get 4 tablespoons. That's a tablespoon, right?
Yeah, it looks about right. It looks about right.
1, 2, 3, 4. And 1 for good luck, right?
A hawk.
Whoa. I've never done that before. That wasn't enjoyable. But just gonna have to quickly go melt this. Got the melted butter. Now all we need is some whole milk powder. Yeah, normally you would probably just start with milk, but I started with water, so we have to use milk powder now. Can't add more liquid. Put this on the scale, tare it. There, okay. Now, gotta add 50 grams of the whole milk powder. Okay, 50. Now we gotta mix the powder and the butter together. It's mixing in way better than no. Now, this kind of oddly enough looks like cheese.
It looks like butter. Like frozen butter again.
Okay, that's good? Okay, in it goes. Oh.
Sinking.
Now, there's something really nasty about the smell of this. I can't describe it. Okay, I think it's good. Time to mix this. And the haters will say it will never mix properly. And they're probably right. It's looking a little bit barf-like, you know, a little bit chunky. But, you know, I have faith.
I don't know, man.
I mean, is there a problem if there's a chunk in my cheese?
It's not exactly American cheese if it's got chunks in it, right?
Oh, I have an idea. We need the whisk. And this way, the chunks, oh God, will stand no match. Oh, look. Oh, I see way fewer chunks. Oh, it's so thick now. Oh, yeah. It's looking good. I was very worried for a second, but it's good. I mean, I wasn't worried at all.
No?
No. I think we're good. Okay? The cooking part is basically done. But before we move on, I have to know if adding the butter and the powdered milk did anything. Okay. I think it did something. Before it tasted very, I don't know, wasn't special. Now it's special.
What does that mean?
It feels like a more rounded flavor. I can't even describe it. What we have to do now is just pour out all of this beautiful cheese onto the tray. That's good, right?
Yeah.
So you get a perfectly, those classic perfect slices.
Ooh, that looks really good.
So I'm just gonna, we don't have anything to spread it out.
Just use the tray.
No, it doesn't really work.
Very good.
Otherwise it's gonna start solidifying, eh? Oh, it's already solidifying.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not what I wanted. My dream of thin cheese slices. They're being challenged right now. No, this is completely unacceptable. I have an idea. No. No! This is not what I wanted. We don't have a bigger oven.
Oh man.
Let's see. No! It errored.
Oh really?
Okay. I've recovered the cheese. I don't even know why I really panicked. To begin with, to be totally honest. It was always reversible. Got the cheese nice and hot again. And the key now is we're gonna use a smaller tray that's preheated. And the goal is to spread it out as fast as possible. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I don't want the slice to be too thick, but like right now we're just trying to get anything, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just gonna close these gaps up. That looks, I mean, that looks way better than before. A little bit thicker than, you know, than I was hoping for. I'm not gonna get that classic thin slice, but it's okay. We made the thick edition. I think this is good. Just gotta put this in the fridge for a little bit. Just slide it in. And here it is. It's all wrinkly. It's beautiful. So I think what we need to do is to cut it up. So first cut it in half. Oh yeah. That feels good. It's a nice slice. Felt like cutting plastic. Another good cut.
Nice.
Then another third here. Right when the knife goes through, it's self-healing.
Where's the cut marks?
It's gone. Yeah, and now, I guess it's time to take it out. Oh my God. This is way thicker. I'll turn it. This is so much thicker. It's also like, kind of, it's not as, it doesn't have that orange color on the bottom.
Oh my goodness.
I think it really does just look like a piece of processed cheese. Like a normal Kraft single or something. It's got that soft, plasticky texture. Do you see the cheese, the see-through cheese plastic?
Yeah.
There it is. Oh yeah. It's like literally the exact same as a Kraft single. It's indistinguishable. It's like just a really thick Kraft single.
You did it.
Wow. Honestly, it might be better than a Kraft single.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so at the end of the day, what did we learn? I think what I learned is that this isn't plastic at all. It's kind of just cheddar cheese, but with more water. And what I think is interesting is that just because of this whole processing step, this is why the FDA and just regulatory agencies in general don't consider it cheese. It doesn't mean that it's some sort of horrific abomination that nobody should ever eat and that it's just made of weird chemicals and plastic. It's just because they've decided that it's now legally diluted cheese. It's a derivative of cheese. That's it.
It's a cheese alloy.
Exactly. I think the only thing left to do now is what I set out to do from the very beginning. Get our pan. Drop the first piece of bread. Cheese. Put the other bread on top. Okay. Oh yeah, okay. Success. All right, so while working on this project, I learned a lot about cheese, and I hope that maybe you learned something too. There's so much more to life than just cheese though, and there's so much more to learn, and thankfully there's a fun and free way to do this, and that's with the sponsor of this video, Brilliant. I've been using Brilliant for a while now, and I still think that it's one of the best ways to learn math, data science, and computer science. This is because all of their lessons are fully interactive, which I think makes them a lot more fun, and it makes it feel a lot more like I'm playing a game. They also have thousands of lessons ranging from the basics to more advanced topics, and they cover everything from coding to gravitational physics. On top of this, they're constantly adding new lessons every month, and I find that there's always something interesting for me to choose from. For example, they just released a new course on how LLMs like ChatGPT work, and I'm only a few lessons in, but I feel like I've already learned a lot. Another thing that I've always really liked about Brilliant is that all of their lessons are chopped up into small and easily manageable sections. This has been really useful to me because I often only have 5 minutes here or there to work on it, but I've still been able to progress. But anyway, as I've said many times before, I personally really like Brilliant, and if you're interested in learning something new in a fun way, I definitely recommend checking them out. Right now, you can also try everything that Brilliant has to offer for free for a full 30 days by just going to brilliant.org/NileBlue or by clicking the link in the description. On top of that, the first 200 people who use my link will also get 20% off an annual premium subscription. This video has been sponsored by Brilliant. A while ago, I got an email, and someone had sent me something very interesting. It was a paper that covered all of the chemicals and reagents.
Alrighty, let's just bang it all in.
are you?
Why, hello. What's better, broccoli or banana? Dude, broccoli. Easy. It's the guy who loves the Navy? What does that even mean, dude? I totally didn't watch Maldavius pull up on a guild and murk them before telling their leader to remember them. Ah, yeah, that was me. Hey, Bobsy. It was a pretty good moment. What? Why, hello. Yeah. Yeah. So earlier today, I actually have a picture of this, of the chat.
Yeah, game's going
Let me
good.
go find it. Let me go find it.
Just,
I'm gonna do this.
Trying to get the main storyline done. Gotta get the. Gotta get my total level up to 265 and get my line of Mautubin levels up. Like the stonemason and the bone right.
Let me go find this log. This is probably the funniest shit I've had happen in the video game, and it was just absolute cinema. It's my favorite thing so far, and I think I gave it to... Who did I give it to? I think I gave it to Truth. Yeah, Truth General. Let me go grab this. You're gonna love this shit. This is what makes games like this. I walked up to a dude. Let me grab this. I walked up to a dude, and I was like, hey. And this guy goes, there's Bobsy in chat. It's him, the real pirate. I said, indeed. And I said, your alt guild is Eben Lore, correct? Which is this other guy, Omni-Actual 2. And then no one knows says, that's the main guild. So these two guys are in Eben Lore with a lowercase L and no space, right? That guild is working with Apex, which is the guild that we have at war. And they had a dude in Carfin Tower pull a whole shitload of mobs and then run them over to my team today to try and kill us. And I directed my team, and we got out of there without anyone dying, and then we killed one. And then I got corruption and had to run away. So I was like, all right. I was like, we're gonna go and handle this now. These guys are also aiding and abetting our enemies. We're gonna fight them too. So I've been walking around. I've just been finding people from Even Lore. I was like, hey, you should probably tell your guild leader what happened. Each time, right? So I said I called for open hostilities against it. A number of players inside your guild have been training mobs under our farms to kill them. And this apparently has been going on for the last, like, two weekends, you know? I said, might want to hit up your leader. And he said, sure. I said, stay safe out there. And he goes, I'll go tell him some unfounded shit.
Yeah.
Have fun. And I said, some unfounded shit? And I dismounted off of my mount. And he goes, I don't know you. And he said, and then I said, tell him about this then. And I killed him with lightning and then walked away. It was right in front of Bobsy. Bobsy just went, oh no. Because he's like level 10 and I'm level 24, so I one-shot him with lightning and then just left. I was like, yeah, tell him about this then, dude. Have fun with that. Maybe his guild will pay attention now. There's just one of me, but there's a whole lot of the rest of us. Training mobs on a people for PvP. Dog shit behavior. You deserve it. Actually terrible, dude. Alright, let's turn on the in-game sound. We have things to kill. Yeah, exactly. How'd you come up with the name Maldavius? It was actually a randomized name from World of Warcraft Vanilla. I was trying to choose a name for my undead mage, and I just kept hitting random. And then that was it. And I've just used it for years in games. Because they don't have the skill to take you on. It's not a skill thing. It's a pressure thing. Like, if somebody's using abusive game mechanics, like they're trying to mass report me to get me banned, we just fight them. If we, you know, if they're like trying to train mobs onto us because they don't want to fight us, then we're just gonna fight them, right? That's just how that goes. How solo playable is AOC? Very, like very, very, very. I'm gonna do this. Thoughts on patents for game mechanics? That's bait. You know exactly how I feel about it. I've made it very public hundreds of times that patenting game mechanics are dog shit, dude. You knew that before you even asked that question. What realm are you on? Lineth. Yeah. Thoughts on the adpocalypse? There's no adpocalypse going on. Yeah, there's no adpocalypse happening. None of our ad revenue has changed. None of the ad revenue of any streamer that I know has been changed. I know that there was some problems with specifically certain tags that were on Twitch that people were talking about, but none of our shit has had problems. Yeah. None of it. Yes, there is. No, there isn't. You know what an adpocalypse means? Adpocalypse means the entire platform is getting shit on. Our ferret rescue runs off of ad revenue. Hasn't changed a dime. Your hair is a little silly right now? Hell yeah. Yeah, it hasn't changed on our main channel, hasn't changed on the Ferret Software channel, hasn't changed on any of the channels that I know from people that are from around 50 size up to 2,000 size channels. So, no adpocalypse is going on. If they are reducing ad revenue on anyone's channels, it is likely due to specific tags or channel category or content of the channels. Yeah. That's a bug. Terrain scene. I have heard it's tagging content related. Yeah, so then it's not an adpocalypse. I think it's really weird because people throw that term around and they don't remember what it means. If you were not part of the adpocalypse on YouTube back in the day, you have no idea what that's like. Every single creator on the platform lost 90 to 95% of their ad revenue. That is not the same as what is happening here. These are specific targeted changes to political or content-related problems on Twitch. And they reduce the ad revenue there. And it's very clear they're doing that. And it makes sense because advertisers don't want their stuff on there. But you want to know something? That was already happening before. In fact, that's how Twitch has always operated. Really good example of this is the Ferret Software channel, the one that's in animals category. It actually makes about 2.5 times as much revenue per person per ad minute watched over this channel. Even though this channel has tens of thousands of people, that channel actually makes more money in ad revenue. A lot of people don't realize that, but it does because that category and that content is more ad friendly and always has been. How it works. So all you're seeing is pressure from advertisers removing their ads from specific categories and content on the platform, which is normal. Actually like getting animal food ads? Hell yeah. All right. I was told the adpocalypse really only applied to political content specific. Yeah, it is. And it's not an adpocalypse. An adpocalypse, I think that's the problem is we've got a lot of younger people that haven't been on the internet for the actual adpocalypse that happened on YouTube years ago. Let me actually go see when that happened. Adpocalypse YouTube date. When was that? It was 2016. So, like, people weren't even, like, this was 8 years ago this happened, dude. Yeah, it's 2016. It happened in September 2016 is when it started. So it was 8 years ago. You've got 7 and 8 years ago of just immense damage to content creators on YouTube. This is not that. Yeah, it's that long ago. So when you're thinking about this, when you like hear someone go, "Oh, it's the adpocalypse. It ushered in the adpocalypse," they don't know what the hell they're talking about because it would hit all of us. It would hit everybody on the platform. My hope is that advertisers feel comfortable enough that it doesn't do that because that would be shit. Like, that would suck for everybody, dude. And even though there's, like, a small amount of people that are making this kind of content that are getting demonetized right now, that's not Twitch doing it. That's advertisers doing it. If you make content that advertisers don't like, your content's not going to be able to sell ads. And then you won't make any money. That's how it works. That's how it works on every single platform. If you make content like that on YouTube, you will also make less money on your content through advertising. This is normal. This is not Twitch doing anything egregious. I know that's surprising And people won't like that, but that is how the internet works. If you create content that is not ad-friendly, you will make less money off of that content through advertising revenue. This is not surprising. These advertisers are so sensitive. No, they're not. I'm going to tell you right now. If you were selling Coca-Cola, would you want your Coca-Cola product to show up next to a political ad about a specific, like, political candidate? Would you want your product associated with that political candidate, despite the country being split literally in half with the amount of people that like it or don't like it? Do you want your soda associated with only half the country liking it? That's probably the dumbest thing you can do as a person selling things. So of course you don't want that. So because of that, they don't want to run ads on political content. This is not rocket science. Incredibly, this is why companies that sell things don't generally get involved in politics publicly. Because when they do, they lose half of their sales. What is this chat tonight? People who don't know. Yeah, exactly. They're not soft. They're money-minded. And they're thinking about specifically, how do we position our brand in a way that is not going to lose us money? Because people will be offended by us being associated with X content, whatever the content is. Yeah, I think what it is to me, a lot of the times, is it's talking about these types of subjects because a lot of people that are now part of the internet, the next generation of people on the internet, don't know how the internet does business. And the way that the internet does business is they run ads. And they don't want to run ads on shit that is hot topic. They don't want to run ads on shit that is political. They don't want to run ads on shit that is dangerous or potentially perceived as dangerous. They want to have the most safe thing to put ads on. And you know what that is? The ferret software stream. Because it's just a bunch of ferrets being cute. That's it. Which is why that category, animals, makes the most ad revenue. By a massive degree. Saw Ludwig talk about it, and he's usually really good about being ad-friendly. So thought it was more widespread. I've had no problems. I stream 12 hours a day every broadcast that I do, and if there was an ad revenue problem, I would be talking about it immediately. And the reason why there hasn't been is because none of that has impacted us. And it hasn't impacted anyone else I talk to. Lie? No, it ain't a lie. The ferret rescue runs off ad revenue, dude. You think that would not impact us? Are you insane? Did that come to you in a dream? Like, holy shit, man. The willful disbelief over there. Why is the bottom left corner censored? It's in-game chat. Yeah. I love to just lie. Lie about 12 hours? You're saying I'm lying about streaming 12 hours. This one is 9.7 hours, 14.9 hours, 13.8 hours, 14.5 hours, 12.3 hours, 12 hours, 13.7, 12.8, 9.0, 12.3, 9.3, 12.2, 11.5, 12.1, 12.4, 12.5, 12.2, 11.9, 12.8. Eat shit. Doesn't stream 12 hours. God, I hate when people are just so dumb. I have streamed 12 hours a day for like the last year, dude. Every time that I stream. And it used to be 6 days a week, now it's 5 days a week. What are your thoughts on Mike Tyson's assless chaps? What a weird thing, dude. Honestly, that was probably one of the most insane things that I have ever seen. I was like, why is Mike Tyson's ass all over the internet today? Yeah. Yeah, it's super weird. Do Do you check this? Yeah, I read YouTube. Yeah, Thor, you only streamed 11 hours yesterday. I was actually going to stream last night because I got home from the game with Esfin, and then I got home at 11:56, right? And I was like getting ready, and I was like, I'm going to do it, and I sat down at my desk, and then I went, like, just kind of like sat for a moment, and then everything started hurting. Everything. My whole body was pissed. I didn't realize I had been running around, like physically walking around and shit, since like 11 a.m. the day before. And my whole body was like, nope. Dude, everything hurt. It was so, like, it was just full body pain, dude. So I was like, alright, well, I'm going to bed. I got sludged? Yeah. It was not good. You get aches in the hands? No, I didn't get any hand aches. It's just my whole, like, every muscle hurt. I'm not used to standing up and running around a football field all day, dude. Like, we were going all over the place. We were walking everywhere. I didn't even sit down for ages. So, it's not what I'm used to. Not even a little bit. One sec. Whoop. How wizard-like do mages feel? Let me show you something they fixed today. You want to see something cool as shit? This is probably the coolest thing they've fixed, man. So we have a spell called Lightning Strike. And you have to charge it up. So I'll show you. Watch this. We'll go up to this guy and I'm just going to charge it. See this? Cool as shit, right? But they changed it today. There's a talent that I have. We go into skills. It's called Accelerative Blink. After casting Blink, your next Fireball, Frostbolt, or Lightning Strike, cast within 3 seconds, actually casts instantly. At full charge. So, let's go over here. And we'll find another one of those. See that one there? Just whap. And you could do that every time you cast Blink now, which is awesome. Yeah, I love it. It's actually fantastic. Did they fix Hoarfrost? They did, actually. So Hoarfrost now actually works. We don't have to worry about it anymore. So we're going to take this spell real quick. And we put that into Hoarfrost. Then we take that, put that down there. And we confirm that. You can now see that when we cast this, it no longer explodes the screen, which is awesome. And if we go to video, I can actually turn this back up to Shadow Quality Cinematic.
Not every
They
day,
also added in fog and
but,
other effects that no longer flash all over the screen. It's phenomenal. They fixed it.
whenever I can. Every once in a while.
What did you just say? Traveler, wouldst thou enjoy a delicious peach pie? Nay, you
That
cannot
just came
handle
out.
my strongest pies. How dare you?
I'll probably will be every day, but I'll be switching between
God
games
damn it.
too, so.
Absolutely outrageous, dude.
What games do you like, Diane?
But yeah, you can also do this now. The instant fireball, dude. So this is going to be disgusting in PvP, is really what that's going to be. I'm really interested in basically dropping, like, a frostbolt on someone, or maybe blinking and doing an instant frostbolt. Yeah, it's really nice, dude. Like, really, really nice. So I'm super into it. And, yeah, I'm excited for this, man. Like, they're doing a really good job updating this shit. You want to see what the new zone looks like, too? Watch this, too. So, you can really just express a whole lot of really cool mechanics now. Wolves try to go around your orbs and shit now, too. They'll try to strafe you when they're going to attack you, which is deeply annoying. Blink cooldown is like 30 seconds, it looks like. Yeah, 30 seconds. So you remember how Wind and Sea or the Xandergar Tropics looked really bland? You remember that? You guys remember that? Have you watched Arcane yet? Not the new season stuff. And people were complaining about it. Like, this zone looks like shit. No wand? No, I switched over to a book. I got a new spell, or I got a new book. Check this out. Oh, the damage. Oh. So, the Tropic Zone, they just updated the shit out of it. I signed in today, which is the first time I've been able to sign in during this weekend. and I want to show you what this looks like now. The first time we came here, remember it was just flat? Like there was no clutter on the ground? And remember all this snow used to be squares all over the place? It's not snow like this.
I have absolutely no idea why, but here we are. Case squirrel with a gun changed my life, man. It's genuinely life-changing. Are you serious? Yo, Taylor with the 5 gifted. W Taylor. Taylor Tots. Okay, so are we doing English, Francis, Italiano, Dutch, or Spanish? We gotta go English. Chat, what are we doing? Is this about to be the worst decision I've ever made? Maximum entertainment, dude. What? Okay. Carlos with the 5, thank you. Yo, appreciate you, Tristan. Chat, here we go. This music is a bomb.
So when the bad guys come for some fun, he won't think twice to just unload.
Squirrel with a gun, dude. Apparently this game has saved lives, Chad. Is this true? Yo, Captain Sloppy with the 5, appreciate you. I'm playing as a squirrel. Hello? Wait, do I have to touch all of it? Oh my... Yo, meme with the 5, W, meme with the 5. Chad, do I have to touch all the red things? Can he run up walls? What am I playing right now, chat? Please explain. Why am I kind of messing with it a little bit, though? Dude, the music? The parkour goes insane, by the way. But the true question is, how am I gonna... Chad, how am I gonna get that one? hint to this? Is there a boost? The music is unbelievably vibey right now. Are you kidding me? The red thing? This? Oh, look at him! He's trying to lift it! Okay! I'm not gonna question it, I'm just gonna act.